Hey guys, Mas here. Hope you are doing well. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for coming in, having us together. I know a lot of you watch this on replays. By the way, the frequencies are just as powerful on the replays as well. For those who are new, welcome. We always get more and more new people interested on, hey, who this guy Moss? What the hell is he about? Because we are making really a lot of changes, a lot of disruptive technology, right? And I call it technology because it is a whole different method of transforming lives or increasing consciousness or evolving consciousness through building better humans. That's what it's really about. We've tried uh, different methods, different solutions, different problems, and we're going to be talking about the cancel culture, which is so new, right? What everybody's talking about it, but it's the same old shit, and we're going to be talking about all the details, the cancel culture, the impact on it, what it's about, and then also better solutions out there that help us evolve consciousness, not repeat the same old patterns. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about how the consciousness effect depends on how you see the cancel culture or anything else. And then also afterwards, we are going to analyze individuals, and I'll get right down to the point on why your life is the way it is, and then help you transform it. Right? Very, very different than psychology, motivation, or anything else that you've tried, or even success. Just another version of you trying to be your best self and failing at it. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. It is on the cancel culture. Oh, by the way, I'd like to also do right after, or maybe before, depends on how I feel, just like a 5 minute meditation on, say, the world, and praying, if you want to call it praying, but obviously setting a fantastic intent for getting the world straightened out, or working on, say, the world leaders, because they want to do the right thing, right? And they always say they want to do the right thing, but then what is the right thing? And helping them do the right thing at a top level. So, all right, if you want to be analyzed live, this time around, at the end of every month, I'll analyze two individuals one on one. Okay, and I'll be talking about more of how to do that, or what happens when you go through the process. But if you do want to get analyzed one on one, sign up for the newsletter. Also, if you sign up for the newsletter, if you have relationship issues, there's 13 ways to heal your love pain. That's a great opportunity for you as well. It's 13 subjects that people with relationship problems have, and then how to finally deal with it. These aren't band-aids. By the way, the solutions that I provide aren't band-aids in any way. They're actual top-level solutions, and that's why they work. All righty. Does everybody, just out of curiosity, and I want some comments back on here. Was there a time warp or something? It just feels like the last Moss on Sundays was so long ago. So if that's how you feel, comment in. Let me know how you feel. All right. And then also how you guys see cancel culture as well. So cancel culture. Is it a fad? Is it a new culture? Is it a new fad? Is it a new hip way to express yourself? Or is it a symptom of a deeper problem? Right? It's actually all of them. And that's a problem. Things happen all the time where there's a world situation happening, right? And then everybody jumps in, and then everybody is, well, an expert on how they should resolve things. Even the experts think that they're experts on resolving things. But the one thing to note is, when you're always trying to resolve things, no matter if you're, at a certain level, your normal individual going about their life, or a top level expert, look at the solutions that you provide. Just overall, please just look at the solutions that you provide. And this goes into the cancel culture, okay? Because the solutions of the cancel culture is simply a rehash of something that's happened in the past. It's nothing new. You've just labeled it differently. It's the same. It's the same. Say like your mom. My mom used to do this. She used to cook something, and she'd call it something. Like I don't know, something beef stew, right? And then she'd add another ingredient on it, and then she would call it something else. Again, it was the rehash of her old recipe, and by God, she was a fantastic cook, no doubt about it. But the cancel culture is pretty much the same thing, or any other solution that experts, people at medium experts, and then no expert at all, but they just want to put they just have their input, they want to have their say on what's going on. Look at the solutions that you're providing that you think is so new, and then look at the results, and then you'll find in history that same damn things happened over and over again. Guys, wearing masks, for example, it's nothing freaking new. It's been there before. Actually, like, at least from analysis, actually 2 3 times back in the day. It's happened before. It's nothing new. It didn't provide a long-term solution. Vaccines, again, nothing new. And each day there's viruses that happen. Cancel culture, where people shun out or shut out a certain frame of thought. That's nothing new. It's just straight out prejudice. And if you have to cancel somebody else's version of yourself to protect your fragile identity, or think that you're right and you're trying to save the world, because that's where it both comes, right? People are too stupid, and then we'll save the world by impressing my thoughts on it, right? Because I know I'm right. But then when you look at the outward solution, or the outward expression, or the outward result, is it? So think of it. And we'll get into the details on who initiates cancel cultures and their MO, their personality. But some of you might go, well, who the hell is this guy? Oh, what is cancel culture? Okay. Cancel culture is, well, you can look it up, but overall, cancel culture is when somebody expresses an opinion and then you don't like it, and then basically you shut them out. You destroy them on social media. You try to get their business shut down. You just like that lady, and many of you again who are new, just like that lady that attacks me. She doesn't like what I say. So again, for whatever reason, she doesn't like what I say. So she's made it her life goal to attack me. So again, nothing more than prejudice and hate, basically. And the cancel culture goes really deep. It literally is an illness where people spend their whole they spend their time, all their time, like this lady that attacks me. She's built like say hundreds and hundreds of websites attacking me, and it's all the same MO. I'm a rapist, I'm a pedophile, I'm this and this and that. And people who say host me, or interview me, or my clients, and so you're all pedophiles and all that. So basically, that's what cancel culture is. If somebody doesn't like what your view is or what you express, then you try to destroy their life. Simple as that. Basically, that's what it is. It's like, wow, is that not nothing new, or is it old? It's really old. That's how slavery came into place. That's how black people came into place. And their situations today. That's where the Chinese, right, the yellow people back in the day got pushed. That's where the Japanese got enslaved. So those individuals and the type of personality that runs the cancel cultures, or would operate in it, are two types, and I'll get into that. But it's really nothing new than targeting somebody that you say have a different opinion on, and then trying to destroy them. Back in the day, caveman day, and I wrote an article on this, and if I have time, I'll try to pull it up. But back in the day, caveman day, guys, not recently, but cavemen. If you didn't like somebody, the way they looked at you, or they stole your food and all that stuff, you'd fucking club them to death. And that was it. Now, it's just more a respectable way. People are in suits, and people, can sit behind their, advanced technology, your computer, and then destroy somebody. It's easier. It's more efficient. That's the only difference. There is no other difference. People used to club each other back in the day to death. Now you do it with etiquette. You club each other with social media, you know, bad news, news well, that's not newsworthy, but it is new. You just send out misinformation on that. And is that what we need most of? Okay. There's an underlying cause for that. And people have, well, it's my right? Like the guy, if somebody can pull up who the guy that owns Twitter, I'll analyze him. Okay? I'll analyze him because he's basically that mo, yeah, the psychological background of somebody that would entertain, say, cancel culture and feel good about it. So let's take a deep breath in. Some of you still wondering, it's like, well, who the hell is this guy, especially if you're new, and why is he talking about this? Well, I've had two near-death experiences, so I don't see reality from this platform. It's a very low-level platform, and again, I'm not saying cancel culture is right. I'm not cancel culture is wrong, but with everything that you do in this reality, okay, or in this consciousness, this low level of consciousness, we'll just call it a zero level consciousness, just to put Jack Dorsey, thanks. We'll analyze him because he's the perfect cancel culture candidate, I guess, right, or profile. So again, anything at this low level, again, I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. At this low level, everything is right, okay? No matter what you think, stabbing people to death, cancel culture, abusing kids, all those things. There's really a good reason. People will have the crazy ass reason to do something here, and sometimes they'll actually win in court because of those crazy ass reasons. And again, that's because it's the reality. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. At the lower levels, you're always going to be fighting about what's right or wrong. Right? So again, it's not the problem. It's like, well, what's the solution to cancel culture? Well, you'd have to raise consciousness, not find a solution, not ban it or anything like that, because that's been tried before as well. Fighting against cancel culture. Again, it's nothing new. So again, from two near-death experiences, really honed my abilities on seeing realities or how people react or the physics of this world, okay, from a space outside of time and space. So into your timeless self. If you want to call it your spirit, you can. I don't use that word because, well, it's been distorted. It has a lot of different meanings to it. So I don't use that word at all. Let's take a deep breath in. And why do I say that? Well, because I'm working on you. So this is more of an experiential talk rather than just me giving you my opinion, and then you go home and you go, that's right, or that's wrong, or he was full of shit and all that stuff. Actually, you'll start to change because I'm pulling you into the higher levels of consciousness where you make proper decisions. And some of you might not like it, by the way, because as you get off this call or this talk, just listening to me, you will change, right? There will be something in you that'll change. And then some of you might not feel comfortable after this talk, just because, and it's not about the subject matter. We could be talking about love and all that stuff. Not about the subject matter. It's about you releasing all the burdens of your life so you can elevate yourself into that higher level. A lot of people don't like to see that. And that's part of the reason why people have cancel culture. Okay. So the underlying reason at the low levels, we'll start at the low levels just to clarify, because I know I jump all over the place. We'll start at the low levels and then we'll move on up. At the lower levels, what's happening is, you're fighting for your freedom to, say, express yourself. Simple as that. And you think your viewpoint is the only one that's correct. Okay. And there's different variations of it. If you're coming from a victim frequency, you've always been beat up, somebody's pushing upon you, and then you're going to fight, right? You're going to fight and show that person that who's the boss here, or show them to get back at them. Okay. So that's one personality of the cancel culture. The other personality of the cancel culture, and I forgot his name. Again, what's his name? Yeah, Jack Dorsey. Okay, so remember that the guy from Twitter, the owner, CEO, the guy that started Twitter, and I think he owns Square, or he started Square as well. Very highly intelligent, by the way, no doubt about that. So him, very intelligent individual, somebody who's come into success, somebody who's again come into fortune and fame, come into success. Many YouTubers are in this as well, right? They've done something. YouTubers, TikTok, they make I don't know, hundreds of thousands, off their YouTube or social media and all that stuff. And now they have a say, and now they want to go, well, I know everything about everything because my dance videos on TikTok, have reached, I don't know, 20 million individuals, and now I know how to heal society's woes. Okay. A lot of business people do that. And, you might think that's funny. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of influencers, they have money and now they want to save the world. And by the way, guys, there's nothing wrong with that. But, and then they start interacting, and going, hey, this is my opinion on it. But again, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. But if you're going to do that, analyze what you're trying to express, or analyze your solutions. Because most likely, okay, just because you became successful in one aspect, again, very small aspect, making a hell lot of money, and that's why more and more people are making a hell of a lot of money, because it's not a big deal to make a lot of money. The bigger deal is, like, are you complete making that money? Are you complete having that success? And then those individuals will go, well, fuck, money is not the answer. I want to stay away from money. You're doing the same thing. It's just the opposite. So back to the other personality that would involve themselves in cancel culture is somebody like, say, Jack Dorsey, who goes, shit, I've made a lot of money. I know what's going on. And, I've, I've analyzed all the things. I've read both sides, and this is my opinion on it, and this is correct. And I'm trying to save the world. So I'm going to cancel culture, or eliminate tweets from those individuals who don't see my viewpoint. Simple as that, right? Because you can. And again, and this is for the freedom of people, okay? But just like wars, if you're trying to create peace by instigating a war to correct or to bring in peace, it doesn't work, because at a higher level of consciousness, people go, well, they brought war in. They brought peace in, and it never works that way, by the way. Peace turns into slavery. And if you don't believe me, look at all the countries that dictate they want, sovereignty from other countries, and they've created war to do that. They bind themselves. Look at America, straight out, right? It was a free country, free republic, right? They have sovereignty, the epitome of sovereignty back in the day. And then overall, look what's happened. Look at any maverick, whether it's Jack Dorsey, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. Those guys were mavericks, right? They wanted to create freedom for themselves and everybody else. And look what they do. Look at even Bill Gates today, right? This is my way. This is the way to solve problems by eliminating individuals, controlling, because he knows everything, controlling the masses, because too much CO2 and all that, it's like, we got to eliminate people. And then one thing I have to ask, for those people who, follow that rule or that cancel culture, it's like, if you have, and this is a sign, if you have somebody that in his TED Talks, it's not hearsay, in his TED Talks go, we need to eliminate or depopulate people. Why would you trust that person to create a vaccine to save your ass? If Bill was here, I would ask him that. It's like, Bill, let the people die. You want to depopulate, forget the vaccines, just let them die, man. Let them die, and then they'll depopulate. You don't have to create a vaccine to depopulate. Just let them die, and you'll be good to go. But again, that's my opinion. So those two personalities, okay, those two personalities, whether you're a victim or whether you become successful, where you can influence individuals, no matter what level, you start to push upon your aspect on how to save society. Simple as that. So Jack Dorsey, for example, analyzing him. And by the way, for those who don't know my abilities, I can analyze anybody. I don't need any of your data. I don't need. I don't need. To analyze you. I don't need your history. I don't need to, collect data on you like a Google or a Facebook or anything like that. I can just tap into you and read you, and you go, well, that's not scientific enough. Neither is your science. Science has a lot of flaws, by the way, right? What you call science today is total bullshit 10 years from now. So take a look at your science history, right? So nature doesn't need science to prove itself. It just is. So in the future, people will be more and more in tune, and people would be more and more understanding on what I do. It's just so new. Again, it's disruptive technology. It's so new that people go, well, we need science to prove it before we can understand it and utilize it. No, you don't. You really don't. Nature doesn't work that way. Your whole underlying mechanism doesn't work that way. And look where science and look where spirituality, religions, thought processes, the wealthy, non-wealthy, look at where that has gotten the world. It hasn't worked out. Obviously, there's something wrong in those thoughts. So back to Jack Dorsey, and I'm reading a lot of people because I can analyze the group. So again, that's why I jump around. I answer your questions while you're thinking about it, or as groups think about it. So Jack Dorsey, again, highly intelligent, brilliance, and I'll even tell you where he got his brilliance. So back in the day, a loner, parents, well, yeah, poor kid, parents being isolated. Okay, uh, mom had a lot of problems. Seems like. So basically, there was no love. So there was a lot of isolation, even if there's people around him. A lot of isolation. He couldn't really connect, or he gets pushed away. Right when he wants to, like, hey, mom, let me show you this, and mom's too busy. That kind of pattern, but very extreme. I don't want to get into his personal details. That's his personal details. He gets he gets bullied at school from what I'm seeing. So as he does, and what he does is he escapes his identity, his physical platform, and that's where he's got highly intelligent. And so what happens to him is that you get bullied, so to speak, and then you step out of your identity. Many people do that, by the way, right? You step out of your identity and you create a whole different world for yourself, because the world that you live in, well, sucks overall. You're not well accepted. You're not liked. You're not, you're just a loner, right? And then you create this whole different identity. Most individuals like that turn into books, research and development, and so on like that, which is fantastic. That's Silicon Valley is that as well. But what happens is that if you're running that platform, right, and now you come into, say, success, where you have influence over a ton of people, especially if you have a social media platform. So what happens is that, well, I'm right, and I need to put my opinion on it and start to control people. Well, basically now, Jack, how you were bullied in the past, you're bullying people now. So when you're doing cancel culture, understand why you're doing it. Understand the underlying reason on why you would be involved yourself in cancel culture. Most of the time, and we'll go deeper at the higher levels of consciousness. Okay, but again, most of the time, what's happening is, one, you were bullied, you were victimized, whatever. You became successful, and now you don't want to express. You don't want that to happen to the world. But then, if you're doing again, bullying people to have your trajectory, and again, it could be, you have a kind heart, by the way, Jack. If you're doing that to save people with the same method that abused you, let's say, you're going to get the same results. Again, like people who instigate war, right? Not to protect themselves, but they just instigate war to create peace. You're going to keep getting war, and then that sovereign nation gets controlled or enslaved, like it has. Uh, People who are, say, this is the same pattern. If you've ever wondered why people who've been severely abused or just abused as a child, right? And they'll go, shit, I'm never going to do that to my kids again because I was severely abused. Now, there's two different versions of it, okay? But those individuals who, one, and again, this is a whole different talk, so I'm just going to give you the talk that pertains to cancel culture. Those individuals who've been really abused, and people outside of them, they hear their stories and it's like, shit, I'll never abuse that, right? It doesn't make sense. But then what happens is that they get into a relationship and then they have kids and they abuse those kids the exact same way that they were abused. That was horrendous to them. So it perpetuates. Okay. So basically, cancel culture is that you found another way to say push that abuse onto other people. Okay. The other aspect of it, and then we'll get into the high levels of consciousness on how it affects cancel culture, or why cancel culture is out of form nowadays. It's the cool thing to do. It's a cool way of being prejudiced. Actually, it's just a colored version, right? You color it differently, and you slap it on, and it's like, hey, it's not prejudice. I'm expressing. I'm trying to save the world. But the underlying reason is that you're straight out prejudice. The other aspect of people who would initiate cancel culture or get into it is because they're a victim. And I expressed this before. They're a victim. They have to go out there and show that they are worthy of something. So, and then now it's social media is a perfect platform because you don't have to have a lot of money. You just open up an account, and you destroy people. You can write a letter, and this world is based on the weakest link, right? You write a letter to some organization, some companies, and people are so freaking afraid they don't do their fact checking or anything like that. Like some of you, some of you might go read some of the bullshit that's written about me, you search Google because Google knows everything, and you go, oh shit. This guy is like this. I better not get involved in him. Again, it's your decision, but again, fact check. So those types of people. So either you're a victim saying, hey, I want to be heard. I want to be, say, identified. Or again, you've been a victim in the past, and now you have power or power and wealth, and then you want to you want to save other people by victimizing them. It's the same pattern. Okay, the higher reasons, and then we'll get into canceling Trump. It's the same thing. It's his opinion. That's why this country is based on Democratic and Republican. I hate both sides because they're both the same. By the way, so I'm not prejudiced. I hate both sides. Yeah, so canceling Trump again. I have no opinion on that, but if it is a free country, right, you should be allowed to express both sides. So anyway, I don't know where you're coming from by that. Well, basically, Jack Dorsey canceled Trump on his Twitter, so that's the reason why. But you're expressing a free country, right? You want a free country with free speech, and then you cancel people that have a different opinion of you, or that have a different opinion depending on whether it's the vaccines or political systems or religion or anything like that. Just think of that, guys. That takes us back to even before Christ's time, where they used to do that. It's nothing new, by the way. So at the higher levels, why does that happen, and why does it keep repeating itself? Well, it keeps repeating itself because nobody's figured out why cancel culture happens. Although we relabel it different things, right? It's the same damn pattern over and over again. Again, way back, way before Christ even was around. Jesus, by the way, not. And I talk about the man Jesus, not the religious profile. Two very different identities. So the reason why those happen, and the reason why people rehash the same problem, and if you've noticed, as of lately, we are rehashing the same solutions. any solution like this universal, I don't know what it's called, maybe you guys can help me out, this universal thing where everybody is providing, the government is providing assistance to the poor. And I'm not going to get into, good or bad. I think it's great, helping other individuals. But back in the day, that was called socialism, and then communism. Again, so figure out another solution. I'm not against helping the poor or anything like that. But again, it's been done before that way. It didn't solve the problem, especially in those countries that did that problem. They even got worse. So figure out another way to help those individuals. How do you do that? You raise consciousness. It's not the solutions, guys. It's not the solutions. You could have the best damn solution in the world. It won't work. It won't function for you if you're in the wrong consciousness or in the wrong environment. If you have the best, say, think of it this way, and it's a really stupid example. Say something that works here, whatever it works fantastic here. A freaking computer works the best thing ever. You take it underwater, it's not going to work. Same thing. I know that's a stupid. Well, it's like, well, that's stupid. Well, think of the solutions that you provide. Think of the solutions that even the experts or thought leaders are putting out there. It's not the solution. It's a fucking great solution. Whatever you guys have, I'm sure it's a great solution. I'm not saying yes or no. This isn't my opinion on it. It's just straight out. I'm not going to say fact. It depends, because fact is depending on the consciousness level that you exist in. So at the lower levels, again, all of you are right. Cancel culture against cancel culture. At the higher levels, just note that there's always consequences on whatever you decide at the lower levels. At the higher levels, what's happening? And this goes way beyond. I'm just going to go to the top level. You might not understand it, but basically you're losing your identity in time and space. And that's why you would initiate some sort of cancel culture. So what happens, think of it this way, is that what happens is that you render yourself, and this is a very, very quick crash course on what exponential intelligence is about. And that's why it solves solutions. That's why kids who have, or people who've gone to like 20, 30, 40 years of therapy, right, spent a shitload of money and a lot of time, right, the most precious time. They have like 1 or 2 sessions with me, and their issues are gone. Okay? And it's not just one-off situations. Their health issues, all those things are gone. And again, because you get to the top level solutions, like Elon Musk, you get to the top level solution on something, and if it stands the test of time and it works, then you've got something. But every other solution, if there's exceptions to the rule, don't involve yourself in it. Again, always go to the top level. This is where again, I'll just give you an example because it's so sad out there, and we're doing an event about it. Okay, and it's not up yet, but if you're interested, again, you can sign up for the newsletter or just keep checking our website, massajady.com. I ran into a mother, a desperate mother. Somehow, accidentally, we ran in, and accidentally, coincidences. Probably, I get so many coincidences of people who need help. She had a 10-year-old daughter. And that 10-year-old daughter had 4 therapists, and she was on a half a dozen medications to calm her down. Right? Again, split personalities and all those things that they've labeled her. And her only, and I think she's been that way since I don't know, since she was 6 or something. So for 4 years, and the only solution that these high-level intellects can think of, medical doctors basically, was to put her in a padded cell for 6 months with no human interaction, just food, tray of food in there, and probably heavily dosed. So that was their solution. That's fucking archaic in today's world. I worked on this young girl for about 15 minutes, if that, about 15 minutes. And I'm not saying I'm great. It's just that I'm showing you that there are better solutions out there, no matter what it is. Anyway, I worked on her for 15 minutes. She went home. She had a severe headache. She went to sleep. She woke up the next day, totally normal. The woman had her little girl back, the one that she remembered before she was 6. So why? And you go, well, shit, I don't believe it. I don't care if you believe it or not. It is what it is. Nature doesn't care if you believe it or not. It is what it is. So and there's tons and tons of individuals who get those kind of solutions or results. Right? So obviously there's something. Again, I'm not here to prove anything to you. I'm just saying, hey, there's something bigger that we're missing that could provide solutions on the world's problems. Right? So that's the key. And there's so many people, there's so many kids out there nowadays, and just recently again, um, and we're doing a free event for this, by the way. There's more and more kids cutting themselves just out of the blue. They're cutting themselves or abusing themselves. And so there's an underlying reason for that. Right? And it's not the solutions that you think. You've done that before. It hasn't worked. So we're doing a free event. Again, it's not up yet, or maybe it is, but keep taking a look at the website, especially if you have kids that are doing that. So, and send it out to your friends. We'll have that up coming up soon. I'm not here. I'm not saying I'm a doctor or anything like that, by the way. I'm just telling you that I've helped kids turn that around so they can actually be kids or even adults. So, so take a look at that. That's coming up. And then, yeah, we'll get into some of the other things that are coming up for you as well. But let me just end really quick because of the time, and then we'll jump into analyzing you. At the higher level, what happens is, so I need to finish my thought. At the higher level, what happens is the way you create yourself here. Okay, your timeless identity, again, is say the projector of how you create yourself. If you want to call it your spirit, I don't want to use spirit because again, it's distorted. It has religious connotations and all that stuff that I don't want to get into. But your timeless self, okay, renders a physical a hologram. So think of your timeless self as a 3D projector that's creating a hologram here for you. Okay. And then that's your physical form. This is your body, your identity. Okay. It has to connect. It has to know that timeless identity has to know exactly where your time-bound identity, and we'll do a quick meditation just to show you what I mean. Okay. Because you go, well, shit, I don't understand that, or I don't believe it, or whatever you might think. But what happens is that for those individuals who are really insecure, who get victimized and all those things, the underlying pattern is that you get disconnected from time and space. So what happens is, think of it as a computer that knows exactly where the image, like if you're playing a video game, right? That computer has to know where that image is rendered on the screen. Right? That image gets really fuzzy. And as it does, because the computer loses track of, again, the coordinates of where it's created on the screen, that gets fuzzy, it gets disconnected. It starts to, if a computer had emotions, like some of you, it starts to, they unravel. It starts to get tense, anxiety, and so on like that, right? And then, so basically you feel like you're disconnecting. Simple as that. You feel like you're dying or getting out of control. And then what you would have to do, in the case of cancel culture, is that you would have to shake yourself up, do something, fight for something, be victimized, yell, or again, express yourself at some level to go out there and be enraged, right? And then it'll pull you back in. But what happens is when other people that don't have your opinion, that disconnects you. And that's why those people who engage in cancel culture, there's a lot of rage behind you. Think of it. Okay? It's not about your opinion. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's because you're getting disconnected. That opinion is disorienting you so much because you don't have a solid foundation. No matter how poor you are, no matter how wealthy you are, you don't have a solid identity. You don't have a solid connection between your timeless, your time-bound self. And when that happens, you disassociate, and then somebody, it's like rocks you, like pushes you with their opinion, and then you start to wobble even more. And it's like, oh shit. And it's like, I need my opinion because that's the only thing that saved your ass in the past. I need my opinion to pull me back. And it's like, how dare you, drown me? So simple as that. And that's the top level reason on why somebody would, again, entertain themselves in cancel culture. So let's take a deep breath in. Um, so, so if you're gonna engage yourself in cancel culture, start to understand why you're doing it. Or are there insecurities that you're trying to cover up or protect other people from? And if it's yes, don't use the same insecurities to bully your way, because you'll create the same. Take a deep breath in again. Just notice your chest. Breath in again. And then a breath in again, noticing your chest, and then right through into the back. Breath in again. So notice how solid you feel. And I didn't talk much. I just asked you to breathe because it's not psychology or anything close to it, not anything mental or anything you control. So that's what I was talking about. It goes to the level, top level on how you create or you see yourself here. Breath in again. And just notice what's happening. If you're feeling insecure, or some of you kind of confused because you don't allow yourself to feel insecure because you have such a strong identity that you need to hold on to, but you'll feel confused for those individuals. Either way. So if I push you farther, again, it's just a disconnect of you, your time bound self, your timeless self. You'll start to find ways, you get more anxious some of you in rage. Cancel culture is basically trying to save yourself, trying to put yourself back into center. So let's take a deep breath in. I'll put you back into center. And since we're here, let's do a meditation on those leaders, helping them out have better solutions. And again, it's not my solutions, but whatever solutions humanity needs, not a political party, not a pharmaceutical company, not whatever agendas, but what humanity, the top level solutions for humanity, because that's what they're asking, right? It's like, well, this is the best thing for you, right? So again, helping them understand what the best thing for us is. It's kind of like parents who just abuse the shit out of their kids and go, what's the best thing for you? It's like, man, the kids and everybody else going, I don't think so. So again, let's help them figure out or put them into that path where they, again, because that's what they wanted, right? It's what they came into power for, the best thing for them or for us. So let's put them into the best solution, whether they like it or not. That's what they signed up for. That's what they keep saying. So just keep them true to their word to help them out. I'm not saying they're doing it maliciously, but sometimes we get lost. So with all of us coming together, let's do worldwide with all your help. You want the best thing for you, your family, other loved ones, society, the world, the planet, the universe. You might not know what that is, but there is that one thing that's best for all those individuals. So let's bring that frequency in. If you have somebody specific in leadership you want to focus in on, whether it is a president, head of a company, whatever it might be, your spouse, you. Alrighty. Just some thoughts. Notice how you feel. This one, very interesting. I don't care for the term cancel culture because it's been coined by a certain political party to be used whenever others push back against their ideology. Yeah, exactly. So, again, political party, a lot of followers, people go, hey, let's beat, whatever, those people up. And then that'll help the solution. It doesn't help. Uh, you know, this is where, just one last bit, and then we'll get into the scanning. This is where people, again, another stupid example, say that you create this invention and it doesn't work. And then you go, well, my invention's brilliant, but it's because of X, Y, and Z. And then you pick out outside features, the external environment to go, if this environment changed, my inventions would work. So say the gas engine, you don't have the right mixture and all that stuff. It's like, well, shit, we need to change the whatever, the mixture of the environment so my gas engine would work. No, you would have to adapt your engine to the environment, right? So the reason why I'm saying that is like most people think that their ideas are perfect. So it's like everybody else has to change so their perfect idea works. It doesn't fucking work out that way, guys. If your political party, religion, thought, success patterns, whatever, didn't get to where you want to go, it's not an external issue. It's your solution. Go back to the drawing board and figure it out, right? Don't keep pushing the same old agendas. Even if you're trying to have an agenda, if you haven't got it by now, no matter what it is, ruling the world, uh, killing off people, all that, if it hasn't worked out, it hasn't worked out. Figure something else out. Simple as that. Okay. All right. We are going to be right back. Guys, we're going to just give me a second. Guys, we're going to be right back and then we'll analyze individuals. All right. So I'll see you in a bit. Did you know that the same attributes that you need for high level success are the same attributes that high performance drivers have? All right, we are back, guys. That was the driving event. By the way, one of the best ways to really come into high levels of wealth and really deserve it and own it, even if you are wealthy. A lot of individuals and more people are coming towards me. They're millionaires, billionaires, and they're coming to me for wealth advice. It's like, and at first I was like, whoa, what the hell? Why are they asking me for wealth advice? Well, because they've made a lot of money, but then they've lost everything else. They want to do it right. So the driving event, and it's a very unique way of coming into wealth. I'm sure you've tried other, say, wealth, programs and all that stuff, and they have you sit in a lecture hall, or you listen to, a lecture. But the physical driving event will do you fantastic because it breaks you all the barriers of wealth will break you. We'll get rid of that for you in the driving event, and then the evening classes are rewiring you for success. And that's the simple part actually for me. You can attend online as well if you'd like. Obviously, it's more beneficial if you're there physically, but you can attend online. So take a look at that. And then we do have for the vaccines, my opinion on the vaccines, again, what's happening, because I do see patterns. on the people who've taken the vaccine. So if you're interested in that, this isn't about right or wrong. Again, I'm just giving you the consequences on what's happening at a consciousness level, and then also at a genetic level. I do have abilities to analyze you. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but just like an MRI scanner, I can analyze what happens to you and see see the consequences on you taking the vaccines. So that's coming up. So take a look at that, and then singles events coming up, couples. Singles and couples relationship, the couples event, really escalating yourself to a higher level of those timeless relationships that you are wanting. The biggest thing a lot of people are looking for, the new 18-day metamorphosis. We didn't completely change it over, but the programming, the underlying program, I changed over. It's a whole different ball game. Even if you tried it before, and again, I'm sure you got fantastic success. So if you've tried it before, the next level, say in June, again, more powerful frequencies, more almost like real time. It's called real time transformation protocol. That we're going to be. It's switch. My abilities now almost get you to that point where it is like real time. You will feel the changes. So that's really coming up, and that starts in June. So if you're really interested in that, take a look at massajady.com. It's 18 days. It's the fastest way to transform your life. Again, it is the fastest way to transform your life, and you'll feel it on the first day, by the way. All right. So that's coming up for you as well. So, alrighty, let's get into analyzing people. And the way I analyze people, I don't need to know who you are, your birthday, your picture, your real name, or anything like that. At a higher level, everybody has, say, an IP address, right? Your individual frequency signature, as I call it. So whether you're writing, typing in, or on the comments, that IP address or your frequency is in whatever that you do, whatever that you think that IP address is there. I have abilities to pick up on that and then analyze you. Okay. If you don't believe me, at the end of the month, we pick two people, new individuals. We pick two people who I interview live. So, it's a conversation back and forth. So you can analyze that, or you can try a free session, but those are booked up. So, oh, by the way, we're going to be doing Clubhouse coming up. So take a look at that, where I will analyze individuals as well. So if you want to be analyzed at the end of the month, sign up for our newsletter. Alrighty, so let's get started. And because of legalities, this is Mas Sajady with Exponential Intelligence, Sunday, May 23rd, 2021. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't diagnose or heal. I can scan your frequency signature and tell you what I see. Please consult your doctor for professional advice. Again, I'm just telling you what I see. Okay? If you ask to be scanned today, you're agreeing that we may use your session on any public media to help inspire others. So remember, if you don't want us to share your session, please do not ask to be scanned. Simple as that. Right? So don't write in and go, hey, I want that deleted, because we won't delete it for you. It's just too much pain in the ass for us. If you don't want us to be scanned, get a private session. And then all contents are protected by copyright. You may not use our content in any way, shape, or form, or for any purpose without my written permission. And if you want to be scanned, just please type in your request only once. Right? So, alrighty. So with that in mind, a lot of people asking to be scanned, and we'll still take this one, M. Lehner, Lehner. Can you please scan me? Thank you. Sure. You're really, and by the way, I don't need confirmation. I know I'm accurate. I've done this hundreds of thousands of people one-on-one. So I know my abilities are accurate. But for those people who one, don't believe, and then two, for those people who are up and coming and going, well, how did Mas do what he does? So you understand that there's logistics or physics behind what I do. and anybody can do that. It allows you to understand that there's something grander or higher frequencies that you can tap into, say a cloud that stores all everybody's, consciousness. So please comment back. Okay, if I analyze you, see how accurate I was. This one, M. Lenner. So what's happening for you? Again, you've had a lot of changes coming up, but that one underlying frequency, your self-identity, you're about to disconnect. Because you've done a lot, you've done work with XI, which is really fantastic. A lot of changes have come about, but that deeper identity of who you think you are, that deeper identity that you've held on to, it's like, well, it just is, right? People go, well, a human, 2 arms, 2 legs, right? It just is. And again, another stupid example, but it's very simple so you understand it. But what if humans could be, say, shaped differently, right? Although this would be, say, the optimal shape it's been proven over hundreds of thousands of years with different versions of it, different heights, things like that. So, but humans could have been formed differently. We would have never known it. Say we had 3 arms, right? And everybody walks around with 3 arms. We just think it just is, but there could be other possibilities out there. A lot of people think life just is. So my point is for you, and we'll move on, is that identity, that core level structure of who you think you are is really changing. This is where you start to literally question. It's like, I've got 2 arms. And that's why I say that. I've got 2 arms. It's like, why is my body like this? So you're getting to that level where that filter of human is created, by the way. So, and it might be a little disorienting and distorting to you, which is okay. That's where you want to be. So a lot of security has come about. Again, you have this fear identity in you, right? Or you might call it very reserved, right? You pull yourself in. You don't want to interact because that identity doesn't want to get shaken. So now you're at a point again that you're actually shifting your physical identity. So it's a good place to be, because at this level, we just think aging like our parents, getting older the way we do, getting diseased as we age, those things are just those things are just, well, fucking normal in today's society. They're not normal. So you're getting at the level, for you, congratulations, where you're going, I saw my mom, by the way, someone around you is getting older and getting, thinking of death or is ill. So which their patterns are coming into. So, but that's just a side note for you. So helping whoever that is, so they don't like push into you like they used to, because you would be the burden taker of all that. So as they get closer to death, basically they'll push on you, or basically consume you, and then you turn out to be like them. Most likely, I kind of see a masculine frequency, but it could be your mom. So that pattern is like, shit, I don't have to age like my mom or dad. So that's what you're doing. So really nice job. I would definitely do the 18 days because it'll progress you. The 18 days for most people now, it's like you've resolved a lot of your situations. Now it's like, well, what's the potential? So now you, again, congratulations. Now you're going, shit, this is a whole new life. What am I going to do with it? So nice job. This one is Francesca. Sales, please scan me. So you're starting to see a lot of you in the past, you used to hold on to a lot of burdens of people, from what I'm seeing. So now what's happening is that you are disconnecting from that. You're starting to observe people, and the way you run is like you protect yourself. So you would, you go, that person is pushing their frequencies on me. But you have to ask yourself to turn it around, and that's what I'm helping you with. By the way, if I'm analyzing you, I'm working on you, and then also those individuals who are of similar patterns or frequencies, I'm working on you as well. Okay, so you're not just listening in; it's interactive. I'll be working on again those individuals. So for you, again, you've always thought that your environment, you have to change your environment to change your life. Right? You have to change the people around you. And yes, that works, but you have to flip it around. You change your underlying frequency. Why are people doing that to you? Why are people pouring their stuff into you? because you've allowed it in the past, right? Because that's what you think nurturing is or healing people is, but you don't want to do that anymore. That's why you're pushing people away. But again, note that it's not about pushing people away. It's not their problem. It's what is the underlying complementary frequency that's in you that allows people to push into you, report into you. So understand that. Okay. Don't try to protect yourself in like pushing people away. Again, protect yourself by going, what is the underlying frequency that's allowing that person to push into me like that? And then you'll see that change. And that's what I was helping you with. Okay. This is so beautiful, Mighty Savage. Don't get sucked into having a stand on one side or the other. Just observe it while focusing on your own space and time. Perfect XI student. So awesome. Do I like Trump? I like everything, not everything. I like some aspects of everybody. So, do I like his whole being? No. Do I like anybody's whole being? Hell no. I see your pure potential, and I love that aspect of everybody. But again, so is Trump right? No. Again, he had 4 years to figure it out. The Democrats had 4 years to figure it out. And again, they're both going the wrong direction. It's the same rehash. So again, you guys, it's not about do I like Trump? Is Trump right? Is Biden right? And all that stuff. It's going to be the same shit if you're in the same environment. Simple as that. You could have the most perfect conscious the perfect solution. It's not going to work if you're in the wrong consciousness. This consciousness, and I talk about this on some other Moss on Sunday, so take a look at that. Okay. How often do private sessions open up? I don't see any to book on the website. So if you go there, hopefully we have a sign up or a wait list for you, because there were so many, they get booked up again, literally within minutes. So again, sign up for the wait list. Yes, there is a wait list, so sign up for it, and then we'll connect with you. Okay. You're right. Scientific community and medical community is the worst expanses of cancel culture. Anything that it goes against their beliefs is immediately ostracized. Absolutely. And that's another reason why all that shit's showing up, cancel culture, because the truth is coming out, right? The new beautiful world order, the way it should be, the world order contingent on being the best possible self, not just for you, not just for your belief systems, but for all humanity, right? Elevating consciousness the proper way. I would love to be scanned and analyzed. This is real food or life. Oh, real food for life. That's better. Real food for life. So for you, you tend to run a victim type frequency or personality from what I'm seeing. Yeah. You tend to run a victim type personality or an escape personality or an underdog personality. So what happens to you is like basically you're going, well, can't we just all get along? But no matter where you are, people don't get along, so you always run away. So there's always a running away pattern. Probably, it seems like you ran away from home or try to or whatever at a young age. Again, because it's like, shit, I can't figure it out, or my parents can't figure it out. I'm just going to run away. So that kind of pattern. So, and that pattern is instilled in you. So whenever something happens, so the underlying pattern is not about running away. The underlying pattern, again, just like cancel culture, the underlying pattern is, why do you run away for you? And you go, well, because of this situation. But the underlying programming in you is that you attract situations that you'll always run away from. Okay? Now, obviously you can't run away from your parents. Unfortunately, a lot of kids try to do that, but you can't do that. But what happens is, you can run away, but you bring that pattern along with you. You want to run away from the pattern. Once you disconnect from the pattern, even if you stayed at your parents' home, you're not going to get affected by that environment. Right? So that's the key. So in this quick session for you, and again, I would suggest the 18 days, because after the session, you'll go, fuck, I don't need to run away anymore. and you're just going to go, which is good. You might go too extreme where you just like fucking stand up, and yell at people, get angry or whatever. It's totally fine because you've never done that in the past. Because you're going to go that extreme, and then you'll go, damn, this feels good, and then you'll want to stay here, but you want to do it right, because that's just the opposite of your pattern. So again, that's why I suggest the 18 days coming up for you. So what I did for you basically is like I slowed you down, almost like stopping you where you can't run away. Kind of like those dreams, where you're trying to run, but you can't. You won't be able to run away. So you'll get into situations after this session. You'll get into situations that you can't run away from. You can't escape or anything. So, and then you go, well, shit, that's terrible, right? Well, no, because the underlying program I helped you delete. And again, guys, it doesn't take long for me to change somebody. The underlying program, again, the underlying program for you is deleted. So what you have to do is confirm the rewiring that I helped you with. I can't like edit you or change you without you confirming it'd be against free will. So you're going to run into an experience where you can't run away anymore, and you'll have to deal with that experience. And then as you do, speak up, take action, whatever you do, food for real life, you'll start to speak. It's like, I don't know what to say. You'll see that your higher self kicks in. It's like, damn, I was really good. And that's where you get confident. And that's where you don't have to run away. So congratulations. This one is Sarah Hussain. Hi, Mas, please, could you scan me? Like, sure. Seems like your father's identity, or there's a masculine identity. Could be your father. It could be your spouse, or whoever. Your father and your spouse kind of are very similar from what I'm seeing. And they both have this controlling masculine, but it comes from a feminine frequency, by the way. And as whatever that you've done with me, by the way, you've elevated yourself. And even if your spouse does XI with you, he's leaving that frequency. So either way, it's coming out or showing up for you and him if he does the work. If he doesn't do the work, basically he'll hold on to that identity more. So for you, you're getting away from that guise of this feminine masculinity, I guess, because so don't. In the past, you would run a victim type pattern. You would create excuses or reasons why you couldn't interact in life. You can't do that anymore. So again, enjoy life. Okay, really nice job. This one is Karen Diesel. Hi, Moss. I'm hoping to have a scan, please. Sure, Karen. So again, kind of seems like you're new, or if you've been with me for a while, Karen, there's a newness in you. So again, um, sometimes when people have been with me for a while, but they can't let go of that, that newness, that that layer is finally breaking away. So it's either that or you're new, and you're seeing a lot of changes in a very short time, within the last 2-3 months. So, is it Karen? Yeah, Karen. So for you, you're starting to see that you have control over your life. It's almost like you were duped in the past to go, to believe in other people, right? You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. Other people will do it better for you. So basically, you just go, I'll just follow somebody else without really even initiating your own brain. Literally, it's like, well, I'll let somebody do the work for me, basically. And again, it's not that you're lazy or anything like that. It's just, I think you've been shut down back in the day when you were younger, criticized too much. So basically, it's like, fuck, I'll just follow other people's leads. And then when you do that, well, you've kind of lost, you've kind of lost your representation of who you are, and you'll just follow who's ever with you. So now you're seeing, it's like, damn, I do have a brain. I do have a mind. I'll just go. I'm going to start using it. So congratulations for you. Again, the 18 days. This is Patricia Garth. Moss, this is Trisha's friend, Mary. Scan me, please. Trisha's telling me what you've done for her. Oh, thank you so much. So, Patricia Garth. Moss, this is Trish. Friends. Trisha's friend, Mary. Okay, so I'm scanning Mary, not Patricia. Okay, so Anyway, friend Mary. Yeah. So Mary, I gotta figure that which. Okay, because I was scanning Patricia. I don't know if they're the same. So anyway, Mary, what's happened is that you've allowed masculine people, um, and again, I use masculine. You go, well, men, but no, people say women who are abrasive, right? They run a masculine pattern. So you've always allowed, again, pushed against that, or you've been pushed. So those types of people always push against you, or you always feel yourself, say, being pushed into a corner, and then, well, you don't interact. It's easier to be alone, for example, or a loner, right? For those individuals, because again, it's easier to be, instead of being pushed in the corner all the time or not heard all the time. That's the way you'd experience it, or you'd say something and then you get into an argument. So it's just easier to just go with the flow, I guess, or just hide. But now it's like you're starting to see, especially if your friend has seen a lot of changes, it's like, shit, she's actually living life. Because, right now you're going through the shadows of life. You haven't really lived life. You haven't really experienced it. You experience life through other people's like experiences, not yours, right? So I don't know how old you are, but you seem like you've been kind of like stuck in your mid 20s. Oh, I don't know if you had a bad breakup or a disconnect. Could be a breakup. It could be a breakup or something like that. Yeah, it was a disconnect, and basically you just like stopped, and you just like, well, and so the flow of life keeps going, and then it's like, shit, I need to get out, and you just stayed there. Obviously, there's deeper reasons for that, but around 25, I could be off a couple of years, but around that time frame, again, life kind of stopped for you, and now you're just living in the shadows because you don't want to get hurt. So it's time to step in. So again, I would do something with XI. Hamas, can you please work on the Brazilian president? We did do that. We worked on all of those individuals. Suzanne Jensen, my lower back is hurting badly. Yeah, again, not a doctor or anything like that, but let's see what we can do for all those people who have, say, lower back issues. Whether it resolves like right away for you, even if you're listening to the recording, whether it resolves right away, or again, it's not an adjustment. It's just removing the underlying frequency. So for you specifically, Suzanne, yes, Susanna, Suzanne, what's happening for you is that how your mom has just burdened the hell out of you your whole life. So that burden, that drag, that heaviness on you is been there, and now whatever you've done with XI, it's like, damn, you're feeling the drag. So sometimes with XI, or a lot of times with what you do, the 18 days and so on, like that with me, or a private session, or even listening to this Moss on Sundays, you might feel like something's dragging behind you, or like, oh, your life gets a little worse or a lot worse. It's like, don't go, yeah, listen to this guy Moss, and then after that my life got all fucked up and fell apart. Well, yeah, it fell apart, and that's great signs of improvement, because for you to notice that your life fell apart, actually, you would have to step up to a higher level and look backwards, and that's the key. And you go, shit, my life is falling apart. So again, don't look backwards into that space, and because you're going to go back into the shit that you just walked out of, right? So look forward, right? Notice that your life was always fucked up like that. It's nothing new. Now you're just seeing it from a different lens. It's like what I do is just like clean off the lens. I don't make decisions for you. I just clean off the lens. You've got foggy lens or whatever the hell. Some of you are just totally opaque. You don't see your life the way it is. So you create this life that's not the best. So again, I clean out the lens and you put them on. It's like, holy crap. That my life? Yes, that's your life that you've been living. It's got nothing to do with me or anything like that. If you like the life that you liked, if you like the life that you lived before, go back into it. I don't care. It's your choice. It's your life. Again, if you don't blame it on other people, including me. Just go, oh, this is all that garbage that's mine. So back to you. Hurting badly is that you're finally leaving your mom's patterns of that downward force. And by the way, you're at a point too, whatever you've done with XI, maybe the 18 days or whatever, is that Um, well, you know how your midsection starts to look like your mom? Yeah. Yeah. Your lower half looks like your mom. Your upper half kind of looks like your father. So it's almost like two identities. So you're at a point, basically you're going, God, I don't need to age like my mom. I don't, it's not just like burdens. So your lower half, as I help you disconnect, and this is just the beginning, you might need another session, but I'll help you disconnect where you start to observe all the patterns that are kind of like, or are like your mom's. And it's like, I don't need that anymore. And then this is where you change so much to the fact that, again, you don't age like your mom did. Okay? You're not going to have those, you know, wider hips, I guess you could say, or loose hips. You know, as people age, sometimes, like in your family, the structure of the hips get loose, and then you have problems walking. So you don't have to age like that. Again, I'm not a doctor, but people do change the way they age, or even the way they look. So that's the level. This one is Maria Georgieva. So Maria seems like 13, 12, 13. Something happened to you around 12 or 13, 14, maybe. You see things. Yeah. You see things and you sense things. Or when you were younger, like 8 or 9, you fell into or you saw realities that was, say, maybe more pleasant for you than real life. And then, but what's happened, which is probably scared the hell out of you by the time you were 13, 14, is like those realities, you know, because you played around in them so long. They're vivid, by the way, because they're not dream states, they're not hallucinations. You have abilities to open up realities. Okay, I show people how to do that the right way, to expand the proper way on the Brilliant Mind series coming up, by the way. So you can think like Elon or Tesla and so on, because this is the beginnings of it. But most people do it wrong. Those brilliant people, they go into those realities and make fortune and inventions. Other people, they just get fucked up. So anyway, for you, what happens is that where were you? Um, kind of lost. So anyway, trying to figure. Yeah. So for you, I was reading somebody else, and then it just flipped over. Anyway, back to you. So yeah, there we go. Trying to relocate you again. Okay, so for you, again, back to um, yeah, for you back to so you get into reality so strongly, right? Because you escape, so to speak. You know, those realities become more and more real than real life for you. And then what happens is that you get to a point where you just like get sucked into that reality. And then that's what happened to you at, say, 13, 14, right? Life kind of got dark. It's like, shit, I want to escape. And again, not wanting to be here, that level of escape, not wanting to be here. It's like, well, fuck. And what you do is you literally escaped into that reality. And then from that moment on, you trying to pull yourself back and live in physical form here, but you're always getting pulled in. So what I'm doing for you is helping you understand where you should be, and then what that reality is about. Okay, or how you get. So now I can't pull it all out because you've always existed in that reality. So I'll make it harder for you to go into that reality. Okay, people who go further and further out into realities that are further out. This is where, like, severe depression, which you probably have from what I'm seeing. Again, I'm not diagnosing, I'm just telling you what I see. Or when it gets too extreme or too disconnected, you start thinking of committing suicide. Fortunately, there's going to be a lot of people, like I predicted, a lot of people, suicide rates. Again, sad to be right, but my predictions long time ago. Again, virus coming in, a lot of people. Plus, there's tons of other predictions that I've done accurately. Even the Bitcoin crash just a week ago. Yeah, last week predicted that for the BTM group. So good job, guys. But where was I? Yeah. Um, just give me a second. So what I was doing is closing that reality for you off. Okay. So what that means is that it'll be harder for you to flip into that reality. So you'll be safer. You'll feel safer, more stable here. Okay. And I worked on you a little longer because you get darker and darker over time, and that's not good for you. We'll take one more and then we'll call it a day. Nice. This one, where can I sign up for the Bitcoin group? That's filled up. It's Breaking the Matrix group, and um, and it's not just about finances; it's all aspects of your life. By the way, so again, we show you how to again do investment properly, but then also be a better human all around, right? So your health, wealth, all aspects of that come through. It's called Breaking the Matrix. I think it's still on the site, so you can find out about that. Where can I sign up for the Bitcoin group? A lot of people asking that. Thank you for sharing. This one, Bitcoin. I started anti-aging too, as you clean me up. Yes. So again, anti-aging, aging younger. I'm 60 years old, guys. By the way I looked 10 years ago, I look ragged, and that's when 10 years. That's when I started having my abilities and really focusing in. So look younger, more vibrant. Most people who become really successful, you know, fortune and fame, right? If you look at those people, they're fucked up. They get ragged. They get old. You know, they're um, yeah, they get ill. This one, what kind of diet do you suggest to keep up with the frequency updates? I know a lot of you, as you increase, right? And we'll just take some questions, guys. Because there's some good questions. A lot of you who are coming up, it's an all around frequency elevation. You're elevating, not a little part of you is elevating, like your success, right? 'Cause that's what most people want. Because if they think, oh, success, and then everything else is good, no, you just magnify yourself at that higher level. So I usually do keto. I don't eat, I hardly eat any sugars, and if I do, they're all natural sugars. So and then also look out for the human reset, total human reset. Fantastic opportunity for you. That's coming out later in the year. It's going to be on personalities, rewiring your personalities, and we're going to be focusing in on heart health for this human reset. But for you, I would do a keto diet or look up autophagy. So again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I do for that. Um, we'll take one more. Pascal Gag Gagnon. I've never been scanned. Could you please analyze me? Sure. So Pascal, it seems like you've been following me though for a little bit. 1, 2, 3, yeah, a couple months, which is really good. You're starting to see the understandings. You're starting to see it's like shit. I've thought this before. Now this guy's expressing it. So, right. So again, so what I do, by the way, it's not my thought, and that's why it resonates with a lot of people. Even if it's abrasive against, some of your, physical surface level thinking, right? It's like, why is this guy intriguing? And that's the reason why, because we all understand it's embedded in our identity right down to each cellular level. All the information that I talk about. Okay? It's not my information, by the way. It's just our basic genetic makeup. So for you, Pascal, you seem to, yeah, you seem to be a helper, especially feminine frequencies. So again, that's why you might be a little more feminine, or again, soft, so to speak. Yeah. So you're a helper of feminine frequencies. So again, you'd probably be the burden taker of your mom, or I see a grandma in you as well. It's two people. Or say your mom was ill or not in the picture, and then somebody else took care of you. So again, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But what's happened, and then the father, I don't see the father anywhere first time, even if he's there, your father not in the picture, even if he's there, which is kind of worse, right? Because there's a physical structure there, but there's no connection there. So again, you feel kind of empty on the inside, and then also a feminine frequency is overtaken you, right? Because you're that support mechanism. If you find in your life, you're always that support mechanism, but then you're always that person that gets blamed at the same time as well, right? Especially in like intimate relationships, which seems like you've had very few. Yeah, from what I'm seeing, because you're the helper type individual. So it's always like, especially if you're, and again, I could have the sexes wrong. If you're a man, women, or if you're a woman, man. So just, do the reverse. Okay. But it feels like you're a masculine frequency. That's very, very sensitive. So again, you could be a man or woman, but that's the frequency that I see in you. So you're that helper. So not a long-term relationship. So what that means is that somebody needs help. They'll connect with you. It'll get deep really fast. You go, oh, wow, we have a deep connection. And you do. And they feel good. And they go, thanks. They leave. They don't hang out. So that's the pattern. So, and then it leaves you lonely. And then what you do is like you be nicer, and then again, feminine frequencies will get help. So you would be the type that you're always the type of person that females would come to bitch about their partners. What is it? That saying, always a bridesmaid, never the bride, that kind of pattern in you. So anyway, I can help you release that. I'll help you understand it, why that happens in this short little mini session. Take a deep breath in, buddy. And then for those individuals who run these types of patterns as well. So you're always helping people, and then, well, there's no respect to it, by the way. Yeah. Breath in. Notice your gut. Sometimes you get so frustrated because you can't express yourself. But then instead of expressing yourself, you just bury it down, and then you have that same identity on the outside, right? So after the mini session, you'll see almost like an eruption that you can't push down to go, I am this way, because you're not. That's just a facade that's been created for you through environmental experiences. So again, as you feel that anxiety or anger or whatever show up for you, let it out. Go out somewhere and just yell, whatever, but express yourself at some point. You have to be forced to express yourself. I would go out and just yell somewhere, and then you come back and you reset. And then when you interact with people, you're not gonna like limit yourself or be that person, that you used to be in the past. You're going to express your views and opinions in a proper way, right? But you're not going to allow them to just keep, pushing all their garbage into you. Basically what you do is like you hold on to people's laundry, you clean it up, you fold it up nicely and give it back to them, and they go, thank you. And then they go away, right? Yeah. And then sometimes they blame you. So all those patterns I helped you become aware of. So I helped you become aware of. So when you're aware of them, it's your choice not to interact the way you did the old way. Okay. So, all right, guys. Thanks for being here, guys. Notice what you notice. Notice all the details. Again, the 18 days coming up really quick. Sign up for that. Whole different explanation on how to improve your life. Not only your life, but consciousness or people. Singles and couples events coming up as well. Okay. So, the 18 days, guys, it's going to be more life transforming, by the way. More efficient life transforming with less detox for you. And detox is basically, again, you're here, you're existing here. I pull you out of that muck, and you see it. You see it from a higher level of where you are. And then when you do, it's like, holy crap, is that my life? And then some people want to jump back into that muck. So that's what detox is. So less distortion between your higher identity, your lower identity. So um, so join us for next week. Again, like and subscribe for this if you want more and more content on the views on what really makes this world tick, okay? And then where we can take it into a whole different direction. All right, it's up to us, not the leaders. It's up to us to create the direction that we want to create. All right. Again, notice what you notice and notice the details. All right. Peace.